All right. Wonder of wonders. We're actually on time. I mean, almost. It is 1:02, but I mean that's a lot better than usual. Usually I'm late by like 5, 10, 15 minutes. It's rough, but I'm actually on the ball this time. I even remembered to hit record. So yeah, folks probably know that we were scheduled to stream last week, and that didn't happen because of a family emergency. That's how I put it out on social media. And unfortunately, that family emergency was my Uncle Mike. He passed away, I think just like a couple weeks ago now. I don't remember exactly which day. And then we found out uh, that his service was happening very soon. And so uh, me and my parents, we mobilized real fast to get together and travel up north to make it in time. And that was a rough, absolutely devastating trip. And not just because, we lost a very treasured member of our family. Uh, Already, like a couple days before the big trip, I was already feeling a little funky. Um, Throat was a little scratchy. I was coughing a little bit. Um, and then once this once this trip started, I got worse, super duper fast. But I tried to keep it together, because the way we make these trips is, it's way up in the mountains, and I'm not used to that kind of terrain. So the way we usually do it is, I'll tackle the first half of the trip when it's all just flat and boring, and then uh, I'll tag my dad in, and he'll take care of the mountains. Because I mean, that's really where he's from. He's more familiar with that area. Man, it's hot in here. We're experiencing an early spring, very early. I mean, my gosh, already starting to feel toasty. Just back in like mid January, and it's really getting there now. But yeah, I tried to do my best to do my part to get us to where we needed to go. Uh, to try and get where we needed to go as fast and as soon as possible, uh, we decided to break the trip up in half. Where as soon as I got off work, uh, we just bolted out of town, and resolved to get a hotel room and then finish up the other half of the trip the next day. By the time we got to the hotel room, I was so stricken with like just fatigue and vertigo. I could barely stand up. And just moving one leg, it felt like moving a rock. And it was actually so bad that in order to get to my hotel room, I had to kind of like prop myself up against the hallway wall, and like just kind of carefully scoot my way over to where I had to go. And oh my gosh, that had to be the sickest I've been since like I was 8 years old. And I got the stomach flu for the first and so far the only time, thank goodness, where I was just puking my guts up. But this time was really bad too, and I also had super awful nausea, like spells of nausea that would come and go. Uh, Found a little life hack for it though. I mean, I don't know if this works for everybody, but if you're suddenly feeling like super hot and nauseous, just like uh, just kind of try and put yourself in like a cryogenic sleep. I mean, that's what I did. All of a sudden, when the the heat was on and I was feeling sick to my stomach, I would just crank the air conditioning way up, and then I would just lean back and close my eyes and not listen to anything, try to be as unstimulated as possible, and then after a while, the nausea would go away. So, if you ever get hit with a sudden spell of nausea, just take a crack at that. Try and crank the air conditioning way up and just tune out, just zone out, just like meditate and see if that helps. And yeah. And once I got in the hotel room, I knew right away I wanted to take a scalding hot shower to try and cleanse myself. And that was its own challenge because I wanted so badly to just sit down and just let the hot water wash over me. But I was so weak in the legs, I felt like if I did that, I would not be able to get back up. So I was barely standing, just propping myself up against the wall and trying to like lather myself up and not keel over. Because again, my sense of balance was just shot. So anytime I like inverted my body at all, like the slightest tilt, I felt like I was gonna go like ass over head. And that was how I spent a good chunk of that trip. You know, when I wasn't at the funeral, I was usually just in my room, covered up, suffering. And then I would get hot and nauseous again, and all of a sudden I would have to rip the covers off and then try and stumble out of bed over to the air conditioning and crank it way down and then go back into cryo sleep like Captain America or something. Very tough. Thankfully, my fever broke just in time for the funeral, and so I was able to compose myself and look a little presentable for that. I mean, I did forget to pack black socks or a nice white undershirt, so wasn't looking 100% good for that, but I mean, it was passable. Whatever. I mean, no one was too stuck up about how I looked over there. I actually got quite a few compliments, but prior to that, when I still had my fever, I thought, honestly, I was going to show up just in like a t-shirt and shorts in a wheelchair. That was the plan, like, show up to this funeral by any means necessary, you know? Man, that was devastating. It was actually so bad. There's this burger joint up north, and I love it so much, but their hours are goofy. They're on clown hours, and it's really, really bad. Where it just seems like anytime I visit, they're closed for some asinine reason. And this one time, we finally managed to catch them while they were open, and I wanted my blue cheeseburger so bad. Like, I wanted to get there, again, by any means necessary, and so I tried very hard to calm down my stomach. Anything to make it so that I could choke down this burger. This burger that I've been waiting for years. Have you ever waited that long just to have one meal? You waited years and years just to have this one burger that you love? Just because the people who like own and operate the restaurant, they don't want to open? But I just barely managed to make it. I managed to calm down my stomach, managed to get down most of that burger. But while I was sitting in that restaurant, I started slurring my speech really, really bad. It was bizarre. It was like I didn't have trouble like coming up with the sentences in my head. It was just like my face was moving in slow motion. It couldn't keep up with what my brain was telling it to do. And my parents were starting to get really worried about me. They thought I was like having a stroke or maybe I was diabetic or something. Uh, and, I'm still not at 100%. Still a little sniffly, as you can tell. And still pretty tired. I mean, sorry if I'm kind of low energy for this stream. It's just been really, really rough. But, way better than before. I do feel like I kind of, genuinely hurt my ass on this trip, though. I did a lot of sitting. And I'm still kind of recovering from that. I think I pushed myself too hard. But, yeah, it was tough. It's tough being sick, and it's tough having to say goodbye to someone who was just such a monument of a man, such a staple of family gatherings. He really was the life of the party. He was so funny and witty. And what is YouTube trying to tell me right now? I'm having a heartfelt moment. Don't bother me. Freaking, ugh. Yeah, he was a great guy. Real funny. He's always been there, Uncle Mike, I don't know a time without him. And it was funny. He used to mess with me a lot when I was really little, like flicking my nose and my ears and stuff, pulling on my lobes. Or he knew that I was a really awkward little kid, and so he would just say really random stuff, knowing that I wouldn't know how to respond. It's okay, though, because, as I got to grow up, I figured out my ways to mess with him right back. Like that time that I strapped fiber optic, little light up fibers to my fingers, and then I would tickle his face when he fell asleep. He had a penchant for doing that. He would be watching the Buccaneers game, and then he would just pass out, and then I would wake him back up with my little fiber optic wandy fingers. Or there was that time when I, put him in a full Nelson and rammed his head into a fridge 3 times in a row. That was a good time. My parents really got a kick out of that. They told me to stop after the 3rd time, but I was already going to stop. Rule of threes. Wasn't going to be cruel to the guy. But here's the really funny part, okay? I was only 14 or 15 years old at the time. So I was still used to being just the little kid in the group. So when I was ramming Uncle Mike's head into the fridge, I thought that was him playing along, right? We were just roughhousing and he was just playing along. I did not realize that I was actually physically overpowering him. So, yeah. So maybe I took it a little too far, but I mean, we all laughed about it afterwards. I mean, that was the great thing about Uncle Mike. He brought a lot of laughs to any situation. Even when he would, get pissed because he got screwed over in a game we were playing. We would have our little family games. Things wouldn't go his way. He would get salty. We all laughed it off, And in time he would too. I think he understood that there were more important things, Like the 3 Bs. Beer, Buccaneers, and big-ass watches. This guy, I don't know why, but he was really, really into fancy designer watches. He must have spent thousands of dollars on watches. I don't know why. I don't get the appeal of watches at all. To me, they just seem like a vanity item for really rich, fancy pants people. Because why else, right? There's such an antiquated technology. Why have this big-ass piece of metal hanging off your wrist that weighs 3 or 4 pounds when you could just have an app on your phone? I could put a clock face on my phone's home screen, and that works just fine. in addition to the 100 or so other things that phone does. I don't have to bring an extra thing with me. But speaking of watches, if there was a silver lining to this very dark cloud, it was that his wife, my aunt Vicky, she was very generous in divvying up his estate, because he had so much stuff. Mike was a big collector, and so he had a lot of stuff. Had a lot of t-shirts, had a lot of video games, had a lot of drinking glasses, and he had a lot of watches. And so anyone who showed up, Vicky would dole out watches to them. And I walked away with some stuff myself. So that's what I wanted the first part of this video to be, is showcasing, well, I want to call it a haul. I mean, that sounds greedy, right? It's more like an inheritance, a legacy. I've been entrusted with some of my Uncle Mike's precious swag, and I'll do my best to honor it. And I am very grateful to Uncle Mike and Aunt Vicky for letting me have this stuff. It means a lot to me, even if I'm not personally into these watches myself. So what I got here, got this big honkin' fancy like yellow box. It's a nice yellow. I should put it over with my Fully Cooley stuff and use it as like a stand for something. Okay, but I got this big yellow Invicta box, and inside the box is this, like, golly, look at that big honkin' meatball of a watch. That is gigantic. Oh, man. And I don't know the first thing about how this thing works. It's so complex. It comes with a little instruction manual, which I also, oh my gosh, it's like, it's one of those, it's a big roadmap. You gotta fold it out, and then it's just guesswork on how you fold it back in. But it's got some sort of crazy design on it. I'm not even sure what it is. It's like graffiti style. And it's got little like cables on it. Not sure what's up with that. But whatever, it's cool. I'll probably never wear it, but I will just keep it as like a little display item. Something to remind me of Uncle Mike, his legacy. And in the box also, I mean, these weren't part of the collection, but Uncle Mike was also way into cufflinks. And so I got a nice flashy pair right here. If I would figure out how to not drop them. There you go. Ain't that fancy? It's cool looking. I like the material that these little foldy bits are made of. It looks like some sort of Star Trek stuff. And I didn't really know where to put them, so I just keep them here with the watch. And then the t-shirts. Lots and lots of t-shirts. I'm actually already wearing one of his t-shirts. Big, awesome Ramones shirt right here. And let's see here. We got this. Apparently this is from one of Uncle Mike's old places of business. But, I mean, I just liked it because, it looks all big and friendly and shiny. It says Buddy on it. It's in a nice bright blue. I love this blue here. Let's see what else we got here. We got a lot of shirts. And this is only, like, maybe 5% of the shirts that this guy had. Like, he didn't have a closet so much as he just had a room with like a big metal rod bolted onto one of the walls with 100 or 200 shirts on it. Lots of hats. Nice hats. Unfortunately, none of them fit me, but let's see what else we got here. We got nice Woodstock shirt. Black and yellow. That'll go with my yellow shorts. Real nice. Weird material. It's like soft, but also kind of heavy. And we got a lot of these. A lot of Hard Rock Cafe shirts, because I collect these. I prefer shirts and getting shirts from places that I've actually been, but I'll take what I can get. We've got a Stone Temple Pilots shirt. Number 4. I mean, I'm not the biggest Stone Temple Pilots fan in the world, so I don't know what number 4 means, but whatever. Queen. Yeah, you can tell he was a big rock and roll guy. Got lots of rock and roll shirts going on. Another Hard Rock shirt. I think I already have one from Nassau, though. This one, you can barely read it, but it's Baltimore. What else we got? Gatlinburg. Didn't even see the back of that Gatlinburg shirt until now. It's got some guy's ass on it. Hard Rock Denver. Man, he's been to a lot of places that I didn't know about. And this is just like a nice bowler shirt or whatever. And it's a good thing that I was able to pick one up, because I've started growing out of mine. Well, I say good thing, you know. Obviously, the circumstances by which I got this shirt are not great. I think it's pretty obvious if I could choose whether or not I could have all these shirts or whether or not I could have my uncle back. Obviously, I'd rather have my uncle back, but... let's see. Radiohead. Not the biggest Radiohead fan, but it's got lightning on it. That's cool. Lightning's kind of my thing. And this is just a nice plain bread shirt. Could go nice with something else. And then speaking of nice and plain, this is just like a... I don't know. Just kind of like a casual military shirt. It's got like the olive green, brownish green with the big star on it. Nice and simple. Should be good for just chill kind of days when you're not planning on going anywhere. And I gotta turn this fan up some more. I'm feeling cooked. Whew. And then the games. This is really big. This is the major, like the central pillar, I guess you'd say, of Uncle Mike's legacy. He was really, really big into games, and was honestly, you know, looking back on it now, it's a big part of why I'm so into video games now. Was watching him play games, and then I would want to play them too. So very, very grateful to my Aunt Vicky for sharing these with me. And he had some pretty historical items. So now I have physical copies of Resident Evil 2. That's pretty nice. What else we got? We got Horizon Zero Dawn. Never played that, but you know, the weird robot animals seemed pretty neat. Bloodborne. I think this is gonna be my first Souls game ever. I've never played any of the Souls-likes before, but you know, everybody's heard of Bloodborne at this point. It's probably the most famous one now. So I'll have to crack into that at some point, probably on stream. Once I figure out, you know, my console streaming situation. I gotta get this, like, the switcher and the splitter set up and all that. Death Stranding. Seemed kind of interesting. Seemed like a weird mishmash of different ideas. Like delivering some sort of weird pseudo-mystical apocalypse. I've got the Condemned games. And yeah, for some reason... he's got Condemned on the 360 and then Condemned 2 on the PS3. And man, this series is old. Like, Condemned 2, you see it's in the old PlayStation box where it's got the weird Spider-Man font on it. Very difficult, but it's so satisfying when you win. That's my takeaway from Souls in general. Souls-like is that it takes a very patient, deliberate approach to combat. So, I don't know how I'm going to gel with that. You know, I'm more used to, like, fast and frenetic action like Devil May Cry or Kingdom Hearts. But I'll take a crack at it. I mean, it certainly looks cool. Ooh, I don't want to show these off just yet. I think I'll save that for later. Just stow that down there. We've got Crackdown on this weird clear box. You know, I'm of the suspicion that maybe Mike held on to a lot of games that were supposed to be for rent and just never gave them back. Let's see, Grand Theft Auto 3. Never played a Grand Theft Auto game in my life, ever. But, I don't know. Is this the most famous one? I think it is. Blade Chimera. Never heard of it. Metroidvania. That sounds cool. Ain't gonna see us at that. I'll have to remember that. This is a weird one. Very obscure. Never heard of it, and I certainly never thought I would find it on Uncle Mike's shelves. It's called Vampire Knight. Interesting. It's from Namco. 2000. That doesn't sound right. Let's see. Game modes include arcade training and the all-new exclusive special mode. Sharpen your vampire hunting skills with over 15 training stages. 2 players simultaneous light gun action. Okay, I thought it said fight gun action. Font's not very readable. Vampire Knight is a game your brother talked about back in the day, very obscure. Yeah, no kidding. But, it looks very Japanese, so that's why I'm surprised Uncle Mike had it. He was a very, like, all-American dude bro type game. You know, most of the games he played were Madden NFL. So this is interesting. Exclusive original artwork, in-game graphics, and more not found in the arcade. The arcade? This is an arcade game? For use with the GunCon 2 and backwards compatible with the original... Okay, maybe I'm not going to get to play this. I mean, I just picked it up because it looked weird. I didn't know that it was an arcade port that's designed to be used with some sort of controller I've never even heard of. So, I don't know about that. You know, I don't even have a 360 anymore. I would have to pick up another one. But, I mean, hey, I've got plenty of incentive here because I got lots and lots of 360 and OG Xbox games here now. Like, The Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay. I heard this is one of the rare good movie tie-in games. And so I thought I'd take this one for a spin. We've got the original Ninja... Well, wait. Is it? No, not the... Hell is it? It's Ninja Gaiden, right? But the original, like, the actual original Ninja Gaiden, wasn't that like an old NES game? Whatever. The not so original Ninja Gaiden. You know, the crazy 3D hack and slash action. I never played those before, but I've heard great things about them. I've also heard that they're very hard, so I'm going to approach that with an air of caution. I got pretty much the entire Borderlands series. I mean, I think Tales from the Borderlands is just like a weird choose your own adventure spinoff, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, all right here. Never played them before. I guess at some point I'm going to have to get an X-Bone. Let's see. I got most of the Halo series. He had a Halo 1 box. But then when I opened it up, it was empty for some reason. And there was a lot of that. A lot of boxes that were inexplicably empty. And the chat, you know, I'm noticing the chat that's like actually in the video, not really all that visible with the little chat graphic on it. I should tweak that. Okay, I don't even remember how I had my stacks. Whatever. There you go. Don't fall over. And then the same thing happened again where I thought I had grabbed the entire Max Payne series, but then I looked inside the Max Payne 1 and 2 boxes that I got and they were empty. Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5. Mass Effect 1 and 3, but not 2. Again, I've never played them. But I guess I've got a head start now. I just got to find Mass Effect 2. The original Saints Row, never played these before. A lot of these never played before, like Dragon Age. Can you clarify, is Dragon Age Origins the first one, or is it like a prequel? Because that subtitle, Origins, that feels like a very prequel style title. And then Dragon Age 2. I mean, I think I've heard that these games are good, but the main character, I assume that's the main character, he looks kind of, I don't know, kind of dumb. Very spiky, very edgy. It looks like if Hal Sparks went to the Ren Fair and then just went postal. Went over the top and zany in 2. I remember in 3 it was more like cartoony. I didn't know that they had started doing that with 2. What is this? Ooh, not yet. Not yet. Let's see what else we got. We got Last of Us Remastered and Last of Us 2. Never played these games. Over 200 Game of the Year awards. Like, what? Like, how many years has this game been released in? How many agencies are there that are giving out Game of the Year? Like, golly. I've got Dragon Age Origins is the first one. One of the few times in the series when Origins is actually the first. Interesting. I've got the entire Uncharted series now. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Gotta make sure. Because for some reason he liked to take games out of the boxes and then file them off somewhere else. Because you see Resident Evil 2, that they didn't come in the box. They didn't even come in these little, like, cheap plastic jewel cases. I had to do a little switcheroo where I pull them out of a binder and then swap them with something else so that I could bring them with me and not scratch them up. It was huge when it came out. I definitely remember that. I also remember they could kind of get away with it because people were having zombie fatigue. Like, even back then, people were starting to get the zombie fatigue. And they're like, no, it's not zombies, it's infected. It's like fungal, it's different. Deus Ex Human Revolution in this really nice box. Never played the Deus Ex game before. Dude looks cool. I like the design of the main character. This stack is getting very precarious. It's got me nervous. Let me try and fix this. Alan Wake. I don't even know what I've heard about this game. I've heard like everything about it. I've heard that it's good. I've heard that it's bad. Heard that it's weird. I've heard everything. So I guess I'll find out for myself. Tail end of the PS3 lifespan, so the graphics were amazing for the time. That is true. It is crazy, the massive difference that you can see between, the beginning, like a launch title, and like more end of life games. I always think of the difference between Gauntlet Dark Legacy, which I'm pretty sure was a PS2 launch title, and it looked just absolutely jank. It looked so scuffed. It looked like a slightly polished PS1 game with an okay frame rate. And then something more like Shadow of the Colossus. Very grand vision, just absolutely gorgeous game. Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, although I think maybe... Okay, well, first off, I see that I already had Halo 4. So now I feel silly. But I think I might also already have Asylum and City. I would have to go digging. From the same people that made Max Payne. Well, it says here it's a psychological action thriller, so I guess it's more serious. I don't know anything about that game, really. There's The Darkness. I think this was the first game that Yahtzee reviewed for Zero Punctuation. He just did a little quick look. And it's got a credit for Top Cow. I think this is based on a comic book. Darksiders. Never played Darksiders before. Looking cool, and it's super shiny holographic box. I love my holographic material. Never played Dishonored before. Or Lost Planet. This is a heavy box, by the way. Golly. Only thing I know about Lost Planet is this big robot guy shows up in what was it? Tatsunoko versus Capcom. That's on but that's a pretty generous gift, I'd say. I'm really gonna have to do some switcheroos around here to try and get all this filed away. But again, big thanks to my Aunt Vicky. And of course, big thanks to my Uncle Mike. Really gonna miss that guy. He was a devout Christian, so I have faith that I'll get to see him again someday. But until then, I'm really gonna miss him. Yeah, that's big. You know what? I should not have put the PS4 games. I shouldn't have put the little itty bitty boxes all the way at the bottom. Let me try to fix that. Well, I'm probably just gonna knock it over the process. Maybe I shouldn't try and fix what ain't broken. There we go. And I'll also put my new watch over here too. With the shiny little cufflinks on display. And I don't know how long the stream is going to be. I wasn't actually planning on it being too long because my mom was inviting me to like some sort of weird light show a couple towns down that she's really interested in, and we were also in talks about like getting dinner. Like, it's very clear that she wants this to be a family thing. She was really trying to get me to make time for it. But yeah, I think at this point I want to dig into One Piece because we missed out last week due to this tragedy, and so now we've got a couple chapters lined up. So we got a bit of a double feature going on. It's the first time. I've tried very hard to not miss a chapter release, and this time I kind of had to. So let's see what we got here. Oh, by the way, Jaron, what do you think of this this overlay that I got? Like, if I just switch over real quick, this is the old one that I used to have. And I'll still probably break it out every once in a while, but this was very, very hastily put together. Back when I was trying to capitalize on the live-action One Piece craze, I tried to rush out an overlay and try to, like, it was almost like a crash course on streaming. I just tried to learn as much as I could as fast as I could. And so I hashed out this little overlay here. That's why the design is a little goofy. Not quite consistent with the cross H, design pattern that you see elsewhere. And then only like a month ago, I decided I would try and punch it up and make something a bit more out there, a bit more spirited. And again, the chat's a little janky. I gotta try and fix that. Actually, can I just move this up? Let me try and move it up, and then that'll be better. Come on. I've got a new mouse in the mail, by the way. Actually, I think it might have already arrived, and I just gotta look for it. But it's being really funny right now. There, I'll leave it like that for now. It needs tweaking, but that'll do for now. I gotta go into Stream Elements or whatever it's called and try and spruce that up. New one does have a fun appeal to it. Thanks. That's what I was going for. I wanted something that was very 90s inspired. So it's got the crazy dry media type thing going down there with the sort of weird, almost pastel scribble, and then you got the Nickelodeon style splat going on down there. graffiti style, little chat indicator. And then the slime, of course. Originally, it was actually going to be the other way around, where this was going to be more like yellow and red, and then this is going to be blue and purple down here. But I thought, I don't know. I'd like weird yellow liquid. I don't want to look like piss. And I realize now I gotta change the text. One piece double feature. Yeah, new mouse, same as the old mouse. Because as faulty as this one is, I still really like it. It's really cool. I know people talk mess about Madcasts, and they talk smack about like these really gaudy mice, but I mean, golly, I just eat this aesthetic up. I really do. I love the crazy, edgy, cyberpunk look, and so I got another one moving in that's exactly like this one. It's the exact same mouse. It's just this one. Just oh my gosh, they like clicking and dragging has become more of a suggestion, just like a vague ethereal idea. So now this mouse, it's got a real bad case of the dropsies. I'll be right in the middle of clicking and dragging something, and it just forgets what it was doing, or it'll double click when you don't mean it to. Real funny, and I guess it is open to flaws like this when it's got like huge gaps and all the little slats and paneling and stuff. But whatever. I can live with it. I can live with a mouse that's prone to mechanical failures as long as it looks really, really cool. Yeah. And speaking of hardware, I really got to tweak my my keyboard to go with the new cross edge colors, because you see here it's still got the old seafoam green. I gotta swap that out for the violet, and I gotta do a lot of stuff actually, because I've got this I've still got the old intermission screen. Then I'm gonna have to swap out, and then all of my like branding and iconography for like my social media and stuff. The graphic design honestly is like the most fun part of being a streamer, I think. I really like working on stuff like that. It's just that I don't have all the time in the world to do it, which hopefully that'll change soon. I got plans to try and make more time for all this stuff. I mean, these are plans that have been in motion for a very long time, and then just a string of misfortunes has gotten in the way. But I think this is the year. This is the year of Cross H Productions, and we'll finally start cranking out more content and getting the look and feel of the place more up to date. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you've seen the older streams, but did you see? Oh no, wait. I think were you here when I showed this off? I got my own little Psycho Blue to go with Psycho Red. So I got don't fall down. I got them posed back to back like this now. I don't remember if I showed you that. I really wanted red and blue because, that's what we got going on around here. That's the theme. But I wouldn't be opposed to collecting all of them. Maybe carve out my own little cube down here for Power Rangers or more broadly like Tokusatsu type stuff. Because, I also got Exade over here. And he can hang out with them if he wants. let's see, or this. When I got Psycho Blue, the guy at the collector store, he just gave me this little Beetleborgs toy for free. Red Striker AV. And you know, it's a little scuffed up. You see that some of the silver plastic isn't there anymore, and so it's just bare ass plastic, yellowish white. But whatever, it's free. I ain't gonna turn it down. Right now, it's just chilling out on top of my CRT monitor. Oh, and speaking of Tokusatsu, you know, you remember you got me this for Christmas here? I've got more VHS tapes like this. Like, this is what I was talking about before, where I wanted to get a bunch of these and then line them up and use them as a backdrop for a nice Guyver figure. Well, I got the VHS tapes and a, got a 7-inch Guyver figure on the way. And so I'll squeeze that in here somewhere. I'll probably try and find a new home for my old PlayStation, because right now it's just taking up one of these shelves, and I'm not really doing a lot with it. You know what I gotta do? I gotta like glue one of those little plastic weight platform things on the bottom of my little Super 1 figure, because oh boy, he got vertigo. He falls over a lot. It's just still bizarre to me that I just randomly found Kamen Rider Super 1 chilling out in a pizzeria in some obscure, just like backwoods country town. And so I took him home with me. Like how VHS tapes are making comeback. They're a great display piece. Obviously, I'm not going to be watching Guyver on VHS, although I do have a VCR. It's down under my bed somewhere. It still works just fine. I really should break it out at some point with my little VHS to DVD converter thingy, because I picked up some more stuff somewhere. You know, it's a little chaotic around here. Which, by the way, I mean, little peek behind the curtain, a little behind the scenes lore, but usually this place is way, way worse when I'm not streaming, because I'm up to 3 jobs, 4 if you count the streaming. You know, we're not monetized yet, but you know, if any support is appreciated, you know, anything to help us get there. But right now, I'm pretty low on spare time, to where it's hard just keeping my bedroom clean. And so usually, the day before my streams, it is a mad scramble to get everything put away and get everything nice and neat and clean for the stream. So, like, 5 days out of the week, it's just bedlam in here. Just absolute chaos. And then the 6th day is just a whirlwind of cleaning and laundry and ugh. And then on Sunday, just in time, everything is nice and tidy. You wouldn't even know. Not that I like living in squalor. Usually I'm a much more fastidious guy. I don't like really cluttered environments. It makes it hard for me to concentrate. But yeah, One Piece, you know. I think it delayed enough. I don't know. That's not very visible. Nah, you can make it out enough. But chapter 1138, Harley. This is from last week. The base belongs to Who's Who. Really, I could not tell. Could not have possibly guessed. Oh my gosh, it's Who's Who. Who'd have thunk it? Da, da, da. Oda says, I went to Glaze live. It was thoroughly entertaining, and my what a voice. Just an amazing experience. I think I've actually heard of Glaze once before. I think I caught like a animated music video with Glaze. Let's see. The aftermath of Loki's defiance. Huff, huff. You're the spitting image of red-haired Shanks. Did you really think I'd just write that off as a coincidence? Mind your own business. That matter has nothing to do with you now. Or that has nothing to do with you. I don't know why I'm imagining an entire extra word in that sentence. You're not wrong, but a great pirate and a celestial dragon, they're polar opposites. You can't blame me for being curious. Anyone would find it strange that you two share the same face. The pirate you're referring to is my younger twin. He went astray. At one point, he did return to the Holy Land, but it seems he grew too attached to the filthy world of the surface. He returned? I see. It's funny how I ended up hating both of you brothers. And I thought my grudge couldn't get any worse. What a family. You bastards. When I get out of these chains, you know what I'll do, right? I'll make it my mission to make sure my buddies are avenged. Was that supposed to be a threat? Captain, you don't have to. I know. He isn't worth getting my hands dirty over. Isn't that right, Cerberus? Golly, what is this Hound of Baskerville stuff that's going on? What the Nelly? It's gotta be like a mythical zone that's been infused into the sword. Okay, wow. So that thing that I saw on YouTube that I thought was just a dumb fan theory, turns out it was actually for real. You know, when someone said, oh, Shamrock's sword is named Cerberus and it's got some sort of power. That just sounds like such a trashy fan theory type thing, doesn't it? Cerberus looks cool. Let's see, what the hell is that? I guess we already kind of knew that Cerberus was a thing in One Piece, because there was like the zombie version of Cerberus that Dr. Hogback cobbled together out of 2 dogs and a fox. It's my biting blade. Oh, that's cool. It's got like a sword tongue. What's with this creepy thing? What? What is this action figure stuff? It's got swords coming out of its mouth, and it's got like weird rotating spiked dog collar. Huh? Captain, let's clean up here and move on. Scramble. Rough. What? What? The dog heads launch off? This really is an action figure, isn't it? What is even... What and what's her name? Gunko made some sort of weird bird out of her tape bandage arrow thing. What is... This action's a little hard to follow. Feel free to hunt me down anytime. I'll face you, assuming you survive this. Hey, you've got to be kidding me. No way. If that thing gets me, those celestial bastards. Grr, damn it all. So he, like, launched the weird rocket-powered spinning dog head swords. And now they're just hanging out with Loki and carving him up like turducken while Shamrock goes and does something else. What is going on here? Damn it all. Total subjugation isn't feasible now. Let's start by taking their children hostage. Dang, Shamrock is cold. We'll need an extra person. Understood. Who should I call? Oest Castle, hard to pronounce castle. I'm telling you, it was red-haired, liar. Shanks would never attack for no reason. It's the truth. I saw him with my own eyes. Red Hair has visited Elbaf many times. I recognized him. But really, you didn't notice that he doesn't have his signature facial scar anymore? Come on, guy. You gotta be a little more savvy than that. What do you think he did? He just magically healed all of a sudden? But I know Shanks. He's a super cool guy. Maybe it was just someone who looked like him? You know, stranger things have happened. I have actually met my own body double. It was back when I was in college. It was absolutely uncanny just watching myself walk down the hallway. I had to do like a double take, and then I talk to the guy, and then he opens his mouth, and there's like this rich, potent country accent that comes out of his mouth. I'm like, okay, he's not an exact copy. Okay. But it was shocking. We were wondering what he was doing in the castle. He just left Elbaf recently, right? Wouldn't it be weird for him to come right back just to skulk around? Even if you're telling the truth, there's no way it could be Shanks. Shanks is always calm and laid back. I don't know about that, Luffy. Him doing something like this just doesn't add up. You really have faith in him, huh? You betcha, Nami. It'd tick you off just as much if someone badmouthed Telomere. It's Bellamere-san. So it was a look-alike? That or a brother, maybe. Shanks' brother. Well, if he has one, he'd probably be a nice guy, too. But honestly, he never talked about his family. I heard that he was raised on a pirate ship from when he was little. Okay. And we're just getting... It's that one guy from that one cover story. And unfortunately... I have a pretty good idea of who he is. I was kind of spoiled on the latest chapter. So we'll see who he is real soon. I figure Roger and Rayleigh were his real family. Their whole crew, except for Buggy. Oh boy, here he comes. Here comes the boy. Frankie's group at the treasure tree. Unbelievable. Atom wood as far as the eye can see. And I thought it was meant to be rare. I had no idea it was so valuable overseas. Well, maybe the reason why it's so rare is because it's so dang tough. It doesn't just flake off of this big old tree often. It's probably got to be pretty hard to pry off. See, maybe I should start selling some on the side. Weren't you sent here to keep an eye on me? Saul seemed pretty strict about it. He was all like, "It's a sacred tree, bucko. Don't go cutting it down now, you hear?" Heh, you sound just like him. Still, I guess stealing from under the noses of giants is a tall order. Maybe that explains the markup. What's that? It's a mural. Sorry, Frankie, I can't take my eyes off Ripley. Golly, I wish Ripley would hold me like an action figure. It's graffiti from eons ago. Some kids probably etched right into the bark and it got fossilized. It's now designated as a cultural heritage site thanks to its enormous historical value. Is a Punk's doodle that big a deal? It's set to date back somewhere between 900 and 800 years ago. If that's true, then it would place it right in the middle of the Void Century. What? We gotta show Robin. She'll be thrilled. Hey, ain't this drawing kinda odd for old Elbaf? Not all the figures look like giants. Quite. As far as we know, there were definitely times where the races of the world clashed, but this kind of cooperation is unheard of. That's why I think it was probably just some kid's dream. Walrus School. Wah, kya. Class is in session, everyone. Listen up. At the Owl Library... That was kind of weird. The way we just cut to Walrus School and then we cut somewhere else. So this is the Harley. Yep. Whoa, it's so big and old. Giant dust. This pretty tome here preserved many of the rich myths and legends of Elbaf, although it spawned countless interpretations too. Now that's the titular Harley of this chapter. I've got to head out for lunch, catch you in a bit. I'll probably be in town next month. Well, I'll look forward to it. Thanks for joining us, Jared. Now let's see. That's why. Oof. Chopper's looking a little sketchy right there. I don't know about that art. He's got the bug eyes, real bad. That's why all the warriors of Elbaf believe in very different versions of the sun god. Ain't that the funniest thing you ever heard? May I read it? Of course. Dereshishi. The narrative is split into 3 distinct sections. It's said that the third world refers to the present day, meaning it's a type of prophecy. Mind you, legends of Nico have spread silently all over the world. The only thing they all have in common is that he appears with a booming laugh to this beat. Dum da 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 dum da da da. I'll read aloud then. The first world, the earth is engulfed in flame, and the hearts of men. Oh boy. Here we go. Here's lore pieces back on the menu, folks. I gotta get a drink for this. The first world, the earth is engulfed in flame, and the hearts of men burn with desire. They reach for the forbidden star. From whispered prayers the sun god rose, beckoned by the enslaved. The god of the land was enraged. With a serpent of fire, they cast the world into ruin. Darkness fell, death reigned, they would not meet again. Okay. Forbidden Star. That's probably like the Mother Flame or something, like the big epic nuclear power that can fuel war machines and stuff. So the stuff Vegapunk was saying last arc about, free energy for everyone might be leading up to something. Serpent of Fire. The only Serpent of Fire I can think of is when Kaido did his big crazy flaming drum dragon or whatever it was called, like big stand made of fire. The second world, a breath stirred in the abyss. The god of the forest summoned its devils. That sounds like some devil fruit lore right there. I mean, devil fruit comes from plants. God of the forest summoned its devils. While the sun lit the embers of war, those of the half and full moons dreamed. Yet the ones who slew the sun deified themselves, evoking the wrath of the sea god. They would not meet again. Okay. Huh. The ones who slew the sun deified. That sounds like the world government. And the celestial dragons. Evoking the wrath of the sea god. That sounds like the whole, like 90% of the world is underwater thing that got dropped last arc. And then the third world, chaos reigns, the world drifts in a void, yet time does not erase the memory of the promised day. Its shadow looms as the voice of the half moon echoes through the ages. And once more the sun god shall rise, laughing, dancing, guiding the world to its final act. The sun is reborn, a new dawn will break, surely this time they will meet. Okay, so the first world sounds a lot like pre-Void Century, second world sounds like the Void Century, and then the third world sounds like post-Void Century. Huh. And then, oh boy. Oh boy, we got a lot to unpack here. So, oof. Okay, we got like big monsters that breathe fire. I don't know if they're supposed to look like monsters we've seen, or if these are new monsters. There's like a big serpent that breathes fire. There's like a big bird that breathes fire. There's like a big devil with a sun in its hand. We've got a big city. It's probably like the Lost Civilization because they were actually supposed to be like super futuristic. And they're loading little sparse energon into like a thing. There's like a big boat that looks like the Noah. And then there's like a bunch of animals, and there's like a big king, and there's like a lightning bolt coming from another big boat that looks like Arc Maxim. And then there's like the moon up there. So I don't know, those people who were saying that Enel and his little moon adventure are going to be relevant, you know, maybe they weren't screwing around. I don't know. And there's like a big tree. There's people on a big whale. And like some sort of weird angel. There's some sort of critter here. That's clearly the giant robot. Emeth, I think it was called. And like an ancient giant. More boats. More sea creatures. There's what looks like a mermaid. And then Nika. And he's got his little logo on his targe here. And I don't know. This is supposed to be from the Void Century, right? I was kind of... Oh, and his logo's over here, too. I was kind of saying... Wait, did I say this on stream? Like, this idea that the Straw Hat Pirates are actually this very, very old clandestine organization. And the Straw Hat Pirates that we know, they're, you know, not obviously not a literal reincarnation, but like this unintentional, coincidental reincarnation. Okay, and what's going on with this? Looks like some sort of weird chicken creature with like, I guess that's a tail, or it's like a big beefy arm. Like, deep mythology unveiled. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. That's, man, my head is spinning. Maybe it's supposed to line up with the three worlds. Is that maybe what it's supposed to be? Like, the first world is over here, the second world is in the middle, and the third world is over here? Huh. Well, that was interesting. So, I mean, that was... Yeah, that was an okay chapter. We got to see a little bit more of what God's Knights can do. And we got some lore piece. Characters are starting to kind of move into position. We saw a little bit of the Mystery Man. But now I think we can move on into chapter 1139, Mountain Eater. And hey, this page of the cover story looks very, very similar to the one we just saw. Like, look at this. You can barely tell they're different. It's got the same characters in the background. What a waste of time. Couldn't you have just skipped this one and gone straight to this? 2 rebels apprehended. Oh gosh and golly gee, I wonder who it could be. What dynamic duo with horns on their head that was in Wano and had some sort of connection to Who's Who could possibly be the rebels. I don't know. So mysterious. I finally got to meet Suzuki Toshio after ages. That Ghibli vibe is so great. The key hunt continues. At this rate, we'll still be looking after sundown. Just how big is this castle? Those guards were no help either. Honestly, the only ones who probably know where to find what we're looking for are a few of the graybeards like Elder Jarl. Oh, Swordgrams. I wonder if he'd tell me if I asked. There's no way he would. Just trying to free Loki is a heinous crime. We haven't decided if we're gonna let him go yet. You're no fun, Zoro. Hey, over here, what is it? A red carpet, the mark of nobility. Could that be the throne room? Gulp. Pardon the wow, it's all smashed up. This rubble looks more recent. There's a hole in the ceiling. This is the throne room, all right. But I must say, what is the meaning of this mark? A mark where... Oh, golly. The big evil star, the big evil pentagram is still there. I see it now. I've seen these in books before. It looks like a magic circle. What's that? They apparently use them in rituals to summon demons in some countries. Does that really work? Beats me. Does anyone else feel like that really looks like poneglyph writing? Probably imagining it. I feel like I saw something like this recently. Straw Hat Luffy. Oh, and it's got the big fancy bold font with the drop shadow on it. Okay. Text with authority. Huh? Who's there? Is it a demon? No way. Who said that? I must say, it couldn't be a vengeful spirit, could it? I've been wanting to meet you. Stay calm, stay calm. Who are you? Show yourself. A demon was summoned? The castle really is cursed. Let's get out of here before we're possessed. Wait, don't run, Roto. Wait. Yeah, eek. Yeah, don't drop us. Phew. Thanks. Hey, there's someone on the throne. I must say I'm terribly sorry, Namitaso. You're dead. Oh. Surya? What are you doing here? I felt a strange surge of hockey coming from here earlier. Human resident of Elbaf and an ex-pirate, Yasan. Uh-huh. Looks like I missed whatever caused it, but I'm glad I found you all instead. So, is that the guy who had like the tattoo in that one shot? He has some sort of weird marking right here. I've heard the rumors about you, Straw Hat Luffy. They say you defeated Kaido. It's been ages since I've been to Wano. I'd love to go again. Huh? Surya? Most people on Elbaf call him Yasan. Didn't you meet Miss Ripley when you went to the school? He's her partner. Oh, he's the dad of that big pipsqueak? Oh. Hey, jealousy. Big pipsqueak. Gah. Well, you ain't wrong. So you've already met Colin and Ripley? The boy's giant blood runs strong. He's always been too big for me to hold. Can you believe he's 20? And Ripley is 80 years old. She's even older than I am. Marrying a giant doesn't make sense. Not if I'm the only one getting old. No kidding. To think someone like you exists. Love knows no bounds. Yes, sir. A man of culture right here. Mixed race people have existed throughout history. Buccaneer... Okay. Alright, I'm gonna give this the old college try. Buccaneers Dosundadas. Dosundadas. Long leg, long necks. Wotans. Oh my gosh, and golly gee. The first reference of Wotans since the Davy Backfight arc. Thanks for remembering they exist. Such hybrids are rare and often struggle to thrive on their own, but in every era, there have always been people who are more flexible, if you know what I mean. Ah, you seem like an expert. Just who are you? I'm the missionary of love. I bet Sanji ends up like him when he's older. Anyway, old dude, we're looking for the key to free Loki. I must say, you shouldn't just blurt something like that out so casually. Why would he know anyway? Oh, forget I said that. It's too late. Oh, Loki, huh? Interesting. Troublemakers, are you? I love it. What a vindictive old coot. Just keep it to yourself, okay? Rumors were made to spread, Missy. I told you to quit it. Do you know what kind of man Loki is? What will you do if things go south? Yeah, I don't even have time to say it. Beat him to a pulp and lock him back up. The one who locked him up before was none other than red-haired Shanks. Until that point, no one was able to stop him. Well, I mean, I don't know. Luffy's leveled up a lot. I think he's got this handled. Do you know the kind of power Loki wields? If there's even a slight chance of him running amok, have you thought of how many casualties? Hang on. Well, the key's not going to find itself. And this old-timer sounds like he's going to go on for a while. Hey! What a waste of time. Guys, we should take warnings like this more seriously. My sincerest apologies, Surya. Huh? I'm sick of all your warnings. You scared or what? That's not it. If you want to stop me, you'll have to use force. We're just pointing out the risk, Roger, you dumbass. Hey, Roto, give that throne a push. What? Oh, classic trick. Did you know there were 2 other monstrous fighters on the Pirate King's crew besides Roger? It wasn't just Rayleigh? Well, I mean, one of them was Odin, right? That's right. One time when Captain Roger needed to recuperate, that man accompanied him to a hospital deep within the mountains. Unfortunately, enemy pirates surrounded the hospital trying to capture them. But that one man, armed with nothing but his 2 axes, fought off hundreds of them all by himself. One man with just 2 axes? And that's not even the craziest part. When the battle was over, not a single tree was left standing. He stripped the entire mountain bare. That's next level deforestation. That's how he got the name Mountain Eater. Everyone knows that tale. He rivaled Vice Captain Silver's Rayleigh and was known as the left hand of the Pirate King. A hidden room. Is it the treasure chamber? I love you, Yasan. A treasure chest room? Well, there's the key. Golly, I wonder if you take it, something awful's going to happen, like a trap or some crap. Why is it just the chests? They're all empty. Well, it used to be a treasure chamber. You liar. Don't blame me. This is an abandoned castle. It's only natural thieves wormed their way in at some point. Still, take a look at this. Oh, the key. Dang, it's big. It's big enough to be a keyblade. A prize. Not even the thieves were willing to take. Yay. In other words, even the bad guys don't want Loki freed. So you still want it, huh? What? You heard me. He's been living here in Elbaf for over 20 years now. No way. The living legend who stood shoulder to shoulder with Roger and Rayleigh, the Pirate King's left hand, Scoper Gyaban. Using the more accurate romanization so that his nickname, Yasan, would feel more intuitive, may also tie into his epithet, Yamagurai Mountain. I don't know if I'm going to remember that. I think I'm still going to call him Gaban. Because I'm just too used to it at this point. If you want it, you'll have to get past me. Okay, then. Alright. So Gabon's looking to throw hands. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. I know you're a former Roger Pirates and all, but you're old busted, and Luffy's the new hotness. He's a Yonko. He's probably gonna mop the floor with you. I mean, you're only the 3rd best fighter in the Roger Pirates, right? I don't see Luffy losing this fight. But I mean, hey, that was a pretty cool chapter. We got to see Gabon, and I'm not sure what's going on with the weird mark on the side of his head. Is he the guy marked by flames, or is he the guy who had the tattoo that one time? It's a little hard to make out. A little bit scratchy. But, yeah. Cool chapter. Looks like things are happening. I really don't care about this cover story, though. I really wish we weren't still in Wano. It's crazy. We left Wano and we're still in Wano. Ugh. But I think that'll actually do it. I really didn't have too much planned for this stream because, again, free time's at a premium, and I've been real tired. I'm still not 100%, bounced back from this illness. I mean, more than just the usual cleaning up. I hadn't even unpacked from that big trip. So I had to do that on top of the regular cleaning up. And, because I was gone all weekend, I missed out on my usual laundry day. So I had double the laundry. One thing, I almost forgot to mention this. I see way down here in teeny tiny eensy squincy iStrano vision. It says break next week. And you know what that means? That means we're going on break too. Yes, sir. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of it because it's been a while. It feels like even on my days off I stay busy. Even though I work in education, we've still got work to do on President's Day. But we do have, we're going to have Valentine's Day off. So I do have a bit of a long weekend. I'm going to try and use that to rejuvenate, trying to use that to organize, because like I said, I got all these video games I got to put away now. And just try and do what I can to bolster the channel. I know I say that every stream, and I always mean it, but then I never get around to it. But, just know that I'm trying. So, until next time, if you... Oof. Golly. Am I getting hungry again already? I just ate, right before stream. Oh, whatever. Until next time, if you could leave a like, that would be appreciated. If you could subscribe, even more so. Maybe I'm still slurring a little bit. And feel free to leave a comment telling me what you thought about the last couple of chapters. You can tell me how much you love Ripley. Or you could recommend other games for me to check out. You could tell me what you think about this long list of games that I've been able to pick up. But I think that'll do it for now. Until next time, happy Valentine's Day, and once again, big thanks to my Aunt Vicky for all of these gifts. And, I'm really gonna miss you, Uncle Mike, and I love you. Rest in peace. So, catch you all. I guess next stream would be the 23rd. But, again, just as a reminder, always subject to change. You never know when there's going to be some disaster or mix up or foul up. Turns out, no, there's actually not a One Piece chapter. It's we got it all wrong. Something like that. So just, if you want to stay in touch, if you don't want to know when we're streaming or when we're not, just make sure to check out all my little socials down here. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Insta and Discord. I actually finally posted on Discord for the first time ever. That was long overdue. So make sure to check us out there to stay in touch, keep up with the streaming schedule. But as of right now, just assume that we're on again for Sunday, February 23rd, same time as usual, 1 p.m. I'll try and workshop something. Let's see, what did I have in mind? Because I did have that painting project that I wanted to do, and I never got around to it. With the stamps, I shut off the stamps like 1 or 2 streams ago. I gotta get to that. I gotta check up again on what's going on with Guyver Midnight, that fan movie based on the Guyver that was supposed to come out. I don't know what the progress is on that. And as always, when I find time, try to spruce up my rig, because I got the new hard drive, and I got a Windows 11 installation over here as well. So I think once I get all of my affairs in order, because I got to organize like all my files, my funny memes and cute cat pictures and stuff like that. I got to get all that sorted out and put on thumb drives and stuff. All my bookmarks for like funny VTubers or whatever. I gotta save all that and then transfer over to the new one, and then we'll be running on Windows 11, and then hopefully I'll finally have a working DirectX installation. I can start playing some actual Steam games. Finally, I can crack into Psychonauts 2. But no promises. Again, as always, can't see the future as much as I try. But I'll do what I can. So I'll catch you all then, and y'all have a good day.